What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to have a discussion, and that is based on the question of, yes, you could have designed that, but could you have arrived at that? There's a big difference between the two, and I want to discuss them today. If this video ends up being helpful to you, please subscribe to support the channel. This question holds a lot of depth, so let's break it down. Now, whether or not you're a designer, if you look at a poster and think to yourself, I could have designed that, that might actually be true. You may have been able to design it, especially based on what you're seeing. But the question is, could you have arrived at it? Could you have gone on the journey with the client to arrive at where it ended up? I've worked on a lot of projects in my career, and I've worked on a lot of posters, websites, whatever it is, logo designs, all of that type of stuff. And I've had the client ask me, how come you didn't think of this? That's like saying, why doesn't your brain work exactly like that other designer's? Out of all the billions of possible combinations, how come you didn't think of the same thing that they did? Well, that's because everybody's brain works differently, and we all intuitively know that, but sometimes we can lose sight and ask those kind of questions. Design isn't about instantly creating something that's functional and beautiful. Everything is a process. It's all about iterations, failures, adjustments, and your work evolving to arrive at the final solution. You don't get to the final version without going through discovery and a design process. Charles Eames once said, "Design is a plan for arranging elements in such a way as best to accomplish a particular purpose." We all have to remember that as designers, we are problem solvers. The client comes to us with a problem, and we provide the solution to the problem. If a client is having a hard time communicating their message, that's where we come in. And of course, once you add in any other level of interaction with other design professionals or marketing professionals for that matter, your project is going to take on multiple versions, and not many people are going to see that. If you're working with an actual team, remember that everybody does have their valid input depending on their skill level and their professional abilities. Design starts with rough sketches, loose ideas, and a general sense of direction. It's not polished, and it's often pretty messy at first. But as you work through different iterations and test out multiple ideas, you'll eventually start to head in a direction that will lead you to your final version. And that final version is going to be the thing that will ultimately work, and that's the thing that people will see, and then once they see that, they think, oh, I can do that, so they end up copying it. It happens so often, and it's become such a part of the design world that we end up just copying each other instead of really sitting down and having those brainstorming sessions and thinking, what is the best solution for what you are looking for? So whether you're a new designer or a seasoned veteran, I challenge you just to kind of take a step back, and when you're going through the discovery process, don't look at anything during that process. Just put some pencil to paper and try to develop some truly organic ideas. And this right here is where it gets really important. Each iteration is going to teach you something new. A color might not work the way you thought. This happens all the time for me. A layout that you thought was going to work might feel a little bit off, and a certain element may throw the entire vibe off. These are things you only learn by doing, by going through the process. The I Love New York logo designer Milton Glaser once said, "I move things around until they look right." That's what the process of design is all about. Exploring, experimenting, and shifting all those elements around until they all click into place. When it's finally time to unveil the poster and it's out there in public, what people see is the poster. What they don't see are the countless revisions that went into making that poster. From logos to websites and posters, what people see is the final polished product. But behind every beautiful design is a long trail of trial and error. The arrival at the final place is where the magic of design truly happens. So the next time you see a beautifully made design, don't ask yourself, could I have made that? Ask, could I have arrived at that? That's where the real skill of a designer lies. Not just in the final product, but the ability to navigate the journey to get there. I hope this video was valuable to you. If it was, please give it a like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.